Over the years, Valerie Bertinelli has successfully reinvented herself time and time again, facing heartbreak, divorce, and loss, all while raising a child. Let's take a look at how she did it. When Valerie Bertinelli was born, her parents were still grieving an unfathomable loss. Shortly before her birth, her older brother, Mark, died at just 17 months old. And the circumstances of his death were shocking. Her parents were visiting a friend's farm when Mark wandered off and drank from a soda bottle containing poison. His death was deemed accidental, caused by ingesting DDT, an insecticide that began to be used in the 1940s to help reduce the spread of insect-borne diseases. In 1972, the EPA banned its use, and since then, DDT has been classified as a probable human carcinogen. As for Bertinelli, she didn't learn about her late brother's tragic death until adolescence. She explained to People magazine, "The subject was too painful. My parents kept the tragedy locked away inside." Bertinelli's father was an executive at General Motors, and the family moved frequently because of his job. While living in Van Nuys, California, she befriended a television producer's daughter and realized she wanted to be on TV. Around the same time, Bertinelli's mother saw an advertisement for the Tammy Lynn Artists Academy. Soon, Bertinelli was studying acting with Lynn, and although she enjoyed it, she wasn't prepared for everything else the school demanded of its young actors. In her book, Losing It and Gaining My Life Back 1 Pound at a Time, Bertinelli admitted, "I struggled with the exercises and recitations, the tongue twisters, and the routines we learned to audition properly," who became her manager. At 12 years old, Bertinelli, who had been studying acting for only 6 months, landed an Easter commercial for JCPenney. In the scene, she had to eat a chocolate Easter bunny, but it wasn't as fun as it sounds. In her book, Bertinelli recalled, "The director snapped at me for not eating the chocolate bunny enthusiastically enough, and when I overheard one of the lighting guys say I looked bored, I assumed he was referring to my face. Your little miserable, cowardly caterpillar. Don't you ever want to become a butterfly?" Bertinelli struggled to land her next gig, so her father was transferred to Oklahoma. But acting was all she could think about. Looking back, she wrote, "I took acting more seriously than I had previously thought." Luckily, her father's stint in Oklahoma was brief, and the family returned to Los Angeles, where she began auditioning again. Eventually, she booked commercials for Weiler's Lemonade, Starkist Tuna, and a corn chip brand. In Hollywood, it often matters who you know. And in the 1970s, Tammy Lynn, Bertinelli's teacher-turned-manager, met Norman Lear. Lear was the showrunner for groundbreaking series like All in the Family, Maude, and Good Times. And he was developing a comedy about a single mother and her daughter. Originally titled All About Us, the show had Bonnie Franklin playing the mother and Mackenzie Phillips as the daughter. But the show underwent a revision, and a younger daughter was added to the cast. Lear's casting director, Jane Murray, saw a picture of Bertinelli and invited her to audition. She competed with several other girls her age, but Bertinelli ultimately landed the role of Barbara Cooper in what would become One Day at a Time. "I made it. I made the team. I'm the girl for the team." "Oh, Barb, that's fantastic." The show lasted 9 seasons. In 2017, the series was rebooted, but unfortunately, Bertinelli wasn't part of it, telling Entertainment Weekly, "I had a day off and was flying the night before and had to start my own show the next day. And I think it was just too much." For 9 years, One Day at a Time kept Bertinelli busy. Still, she was determined to do movies and TV shows. She ended up landing a role in a TV movie called Young Love, First Love. Jack Grossbart, Bertinelli's manager, told the Los Angeles Times, "The role involved a young woman coming to terms with her sexuality. We said, this she should do, even if she doesn't get paid much." The goal was to get something different. Around the same time, she landed one of the lead roles in the science fiction comedy film CHOMPS, about a man who creates a robotic dog and another man who wants to steal it from him. I don't understand. CHOMPS failed at the box office, but that didn't deter Bertinelli. In the years that followed, She did more TV movies, including The Princess and the Taxi Driver, the romantic comedy I Was a Mail Order Bride, and a romantic drama, The Promise of Love. She's a teenage widow trying to forget the past and start anew. Can fleeting moments of romance turn into promises of love again? It could be said that Valerie Bertinelli owes her first encounter to the 1980 strike. That's how she found herself at her parents' house in Shreveport, Louisiana, with backstage passes to a Van Halen show. After seeing a picture of Eddie Van Halen, she decided to go. When Bertinelli and Van Halen met, sparks flew, and they soon began dating. Just a year later, they were married. For Bertinelli, married life meant focusing on her career while also supporting her husband's. The couple was together whenever possible, even when David Lee Roth, Van Halen's former bandmate, wasn't particularly happy with Bertinelli. On an episode of Rob Lowe's podcast, Literally, with Rob Lowe, she reflected, "I don't know why he didn't like me. I mean, I was always nice to him. Honestly, I don't know." In 1991, Bertinelli and Van Halen welcomed a son, Wolfgang. Wolfie would prove to be an incredible musician, just like his father. At just 15 years old, Wolfgang joined his father's band as the bassist. And later he won a Grammy for Best Rock Song for his song, Distance, dedicated to his late father. In 1990, Bertinelli returned to episodic television, starring in the title role in Sydney, a sitcom where she played a private investigator. The show lasted only one season. The same fate befell Café Américain, a comedy where Bertinelli played an American working in a cafe in Paris. He's very cute. They're all cute. They're French. But in 2001, the actor was cast to join the cast of the family drama, Touched by an Angel, alongside Roma Downey and Della Reese. Bertinelli played Gloria, the youngest angel on the show. Executive producer Martha Williamson told Entertainment Weekly, "We never, ever seriously considered anyone else." Touched by an Angel turned out to be exactly the TV project Bertinelli was looking for. She explained to Entertainment,